Yeah, I feel like progress. Oh, do I even want to say it? Maybe a naive purchase. Yeah, man, God, that would have been sensible. It was absolute agony. So I have escaped. It's Monday morning again, and I'm going to try something a little bit new this week. So the videos have been great so far. I've really enjoyed them. We've had lots of very lovely feedback. I've also had some more technical feedback. Obviously, we want everything to be getting better and better every week. We're actually going to try and create a little bit of a, almost a natural, it's not scripted, but a natural storyline through the week. I mean, I do this anyway, but I'm just going to make it public. And you can see how little of what I set out to do on a Monday I actually achieve. So week commencing the 26th, so I've got two projects that I want to try and close, or at least get whether it's a yes or a no, but get them closed and out of the way. I've got 3 new projects, so get all of those quoted and sent out. Vehicles, bit of a hot topic for us. We've been proactive about it. I mean, I can confirm this now because it has all been confirmed. It's been a bit of a journey with the finance, as I sort of thought it would be. But we've bought 4 24 plate brand new vans. And then I have also, it's not a Defender, but I've also bought a new vehicle for me. So another 24 plate. I've sold one tipper to another local company. That sale's been agreed. I've then sold Matt's Ford Ranger. I've just agreed to a cost from Motorway. So I've just sold it online at trade-in price. I am then, do I even want to say it? Getting my Range Rover back tomorrow. I've been told it's going to be done today, but I've been told that a lot recently. Again, I've agreed a trade-in price for it, so that's going to be going to help towards the cost of the new vehicle. And whilst it was such a lovely thing to drive, just having to rely on it, it was obviously just maybe a naive purchase. It seemed to be a good buy, but obviously quite quickly went wrong. And yeah, I think it's time to cut my losses on that one. And then finally, the newest Ford Ranger that we're also getting rid of. I took it to a dealer at the weekend for them to have a look at, and they were very keen on it. They would like to sell it. I know I'm going to have to cut my losses a bit on it, but just need it gone, especially with all this new stuff turning up. What else do we have to work on? I need to try and sort the zero licenses from our old accountants. Insurance claim, need to get that finished. Content, I've set up an Instagram account for Gregson Homes now, so there's 3 short form videos that we want to film and get put on there, so there's some content for when people click on it. In theory, at this stage, there's no reason why those things shouldn't be achieved this week. So that's the plan. Video team are heading over to East Horsley. Let's see what those guys are up to.
Here we go again. This is Julia Stupid.
Morning, yeah, it's Monday, it's very windy. Yeah, welcome back to East Horsley. We've got the block and brick formwork up now for this path, so that's been built up and backfilled with the Type 1. So good to see some structure. Over this side of the garden, the decking frame is underway as well. Yeah, it's been a wet week last week, but it's supposed to be dry this week, which is good. We've finally got the concrete pads for the pergola legs dried off. So another goal for this week is to get the pad stones in for the steels for the pergola. Guys are all busy doing bits and pieces. The fencing's gone in around the front now, which looks really smart, really good. This week as well, we'd like to start putting the granite sets in to frame the driveway out there, which would be nice to see. The deck frame's going in now, so we won't actually deck it until we're sort of out of the mud and stuff, because it's quite a light coloured decking. So we'll get the frame up, board it out so that we can sort of access our storage area around the side there. But again, it's just good to see structure coming up and getting out of the ground.
Coming up to the end of a pretty successful Monday. Good progress on sites in East Horsley, and great to get the new Chiswick project started. My day's been alright. Just looking back at my whiteboard to see if I've knocked anything off that list. I did manage to do a run. Insurance claims, yes. I finally had the finance signed off on 3 of the vehicles. Range Rover's fixed, so that's good. I went to see that new job. Lovely project, really nice. Yeah, I feel like progress. It's been tough crunching numbers on the vehicles that we're changing. I think we're probably about 15, 16 grand short of where I thought we would be on what we can actually sell these vehicles for. Frustrating because we got a few of them sort of valued about 6 months ago. Yeah, man, God, I should have sold them then. That would have been sensible. Look what's back. Finally, have the Range Rover back. And it's all working. I've started to really resent it recently because of all the sort of stress and aggro it's caused, but Just driving it around again. Oh my God, it's so nice. I think it's because I'm used to driving. It's because I've been driving the Defender, so it's obviously a bit of a step up. I mean, I think it's fairly unquestionable that the sensible thing to do is to move into something newer and more reliable. But yeah, you know, even having a look at a new Defender, just nowhere near as nice to drive. Not even close. So yeah, it's tough. But this is my, you know, this is my work vehicle, my business vehicle. It's what I used to travel around in and tow trailers in. So I've got to try and look at what makes the most sense, both numbers wise, practically wise. It's hopefully going to break down the least and be dependable and reliable. So yeah, going to strip it out now, get all of my stuff out of it, get the dog stuff out of the boot, take it to be valeted, and then take a load of pictures of it, stick it up on motorway, see what we're offered for it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's a good day. Finally, you came on a good bit. Wow. So this is our second or third time here. We've been through this and weeded it all through and put the chips down, and we've chipped all the way around the back there just to make it a bit nicer and more usable. This week we've done this edge. All those edges were supposed to be along this edge, but it's a whole nother story. So we were going to take out this block wall, but as we were sort of excavating that end, we found that the posts are pretty knackered really. It's going to be a whole new fence with concrete posts and gravel boards as well. But the main, way more interesting bit that interests me way more than fencing, and I'm sure you too, viewer, is we're planting all this up. So they've sort of kindly entrusted me to create them a sort of bee and butterfly and bird friendly border. So there's lots of things in here that are going to do lots of seeding, lots of flowers, lots of nice landing pads for bees and butterflies, lots of berries for little birds and animals to eat. Hopefully these thymes are just going to expand around there. There's a couple of different types, and they're just going to get to like sort of this over the path, so as you brush past you're going to get nice little fragrances. Yeah, just something that's going to be good for the bees, birds, mice. Not mice necessarily, but the mice that people like field mice and dormices, and they've got plenty of bird feeders. They really like all that. So this is hopefully just add to that as well. And then obviously have it flowering and interest throughout the year. So we've got the grasses, we've got some evergreens in as well. The nandinas of two different types of fantastic sort of additions like that. The foxgloves, alliums are popping up now as well. It's a nice little garden really. And yeah, now it's time to get all the plants in. So hopefully we'll be back and we'll see it all in the summer. A good tip for planting is don't dig round holes for round pots, which may sound crazy, but if you do a square hole, and I've always done it and everything seems to have survived really, but if you dig a square hole, so when the roots hit a corner, they're more encouraged to go through. Whereas if you did a round hole, and obviously most plants that you get are grown in round pots, it's basically encouraging it to go around, and it just ends up in a big spiral, and it's not actually, you know, doing its job and searching out the nutrients and anchoring the plant in place. So square holes, round pots.
Interesting. My day's been another frustrating day. Everything that was meant to have turned up hasn't turned up. But yeah, ticked off another thing from the board. We got our 3 short form videos for Gregson Holmes films. Whether they're going to go on or not, we're yet to see. It was absolute agony, but we got there in the end. Talking down the barrel to a camera is still, believe it or not, something I am struggling with quite a lot. Got a good enough offer on the Range Rover today to sell it, so that's another thing off my desk. So yeah, I would say overall a net positive, productive day. Not where I wanted to be, but I guess we never are. It's Thursday and I have escaped. I've run away from the office and everything that's going on. I'm down at my grandparents' house, which is one of my favourite places to be. So spending the afternoon giving them a hand. So yeah, having a couple of hours just building a bonfire has been really good therapy the last couple of weeks. It's been pretty constant, just being let down and things not happening. As soon as I found out what I was meant to be doing today, as soon as I found out that was cancelled, I just thought, I don't need to be here. Bring my laptop and my phones with me, stay connected, stay available, but yeah, just get a bit of headspace, which is great. It's good to come down here anyway, because tomorrow Matt and I are heading down to the Eden project. It's in Cornwall, it's for an APL conference. So really looking forward to that. It's going to be good to see some familiar faces, see what Mark's got to say up on stage. The guys have been doing a great job on site. Everybody has been busy, maintenance site and 2 landscaping sites, all been running really well. The weather has been pretty grim this morning. Rufus is stealing my bonfire. Those sticks are on fire, mate, you can't. But yeah, everything back at base is all moving well, shows the importance of building a team, and it allows you as the business owner to actually step away and have days like this whilst everything still runs. So yeah, happy days. Check in a bit later. Matt's finishing up on site and then is on his way down to join. Our better halves are also coming along as well. So yeah, doing what we can to make a bit of a weekend of it. It's Friday and the sun's shining. Matt and I are down in Cornwall. We are on our way to the APL's conference at the Eden project. It's going to be a nice break from a fairly aggressive routine at the moment. So yeah, looking forward to that. Happy, Matt?
Always happy.
What do you think, Phil?
Excellent, but what is that? Is that a camera?
Yeah.
Oh really?
They're all blowing it basically, so it's all swayed around. So
No, but I mean, I think it's
becoming very popular.
There were sleepless nights.
No, there weren't actually.
You were behind schedule a little bit.
No, we weren't. No, we weren't. Bloody sensationalism here. I mean, it was a big step up for us. It was a contract which we shouldn't really have got. I mean, we were probably less qualified than anybody else to get it. And it was a massive undertaking. It was the biggest, it was £3.5 million of work in 30 weeks with a deadline that was punishing. I mean, really punishing. And, you know, it could have really gone wrong. A lot of my peers have said they wouldn't have taken it on. The risks were way too big. And I genuinely, stupidly couldn't see the risks. All I saw was excitement. And maybe because I do Chelsea and I just didn't see the risk, whereas other people saw the risk. You know, we were up against people like Frosts and people that probably had more qualifications to do that job than us. But there was something that obviously I gave over, and the interview was kind of during COVID, so the interview was by Zoom. It was cost plus contract, so there was no pricing. So basically it was let as a percentage of what you want to earn from it. So that's how it was let, and then it actually was priced. So if it went over budget for the first $500,000 over, we split the pay in between us and the clients. After that, it was all down to us as Landform. If we brought it under budget, we got half the profit. Right. And actually, as it happened, we actually brought it under budget, and I think we got 120,000 bonus for finishing it. It was a very interesting project. It's higher than a grade 1 listed. It had to have special permission from Parliament to do it. It was, and we had a full-time archaeologist there. It was quite complex. We ran our luck with the weather. It was a fascinating project. It was like working in a goldfish bowl, but the weather window to seed was definitive. And we had to seed on the 28th of March. And we hit the seeding on the 28th of March. We were working 15-hour days. So we worked in Nigel Dunnett, and this was our subcontractor, Pictorial Meadows, who did the seeding, and it was seeded into grid blocks. So each grid was 20 metres by 5 metres, and there was 320 different mixers repetition, but so it wasn't just a question of seeding. Obviously on the downsides of it, we over compacted a little bit in this area. We bought the tractor Avant because we thought that would be the right bit of kit to push the soil around and lessen compaction. But what I didn't fully appreciate is the tracks of the Avant were so brand new, and it actually, because the soil mix had a bit of a clay content, it actually pushed it in, and we didn't have time. Literally, we were chasing it. So that's possibly one of the drawbacks of it. And then obviously, we didn't put a proper irrigation system. It was a temporary installation. And then obviously, April came, and April was dry and cold. So, Nigel Dunnett was saying we're going to get germination in 10 days. We didn't get germination for 3 to 4 weeks. So, we couldn't irrigate because there was only temporary irrigation. So it went off like a bit of a damp squid, really, damp firework, because it was meant to celebrate the Queen's Jubilee. We hit our mark, but nature, you can't play with nature. And so being totally truthful about it, it kind of, that Jubilee weekend came and went, and we had one little flower in there. But by kind of end of June, July was stunning, August was really hot, 40 degrees. It basically burnt out. Was it successful? I think it started a big conversation. I think it got people talking. From the client's point of view, they thought it was a success. They were getting lots of school parties talking about, seed heads and things. So I thought it was probably 80% successful from a floral point of view. But it started a conversation, and this is now a dynamic landscape which it will evolve. So it'll never go back to being a grass plat.
No. So is it open again this year?
Well, I mean, obviously, because the soil was pretty pure, and obviously weed seeds grew in, and then you've got rodents coming in, and God knows what. It's evolving, and that's what it's meant to do.
Right.
So that flush of amazing colour, it's not like that, and it started a lot of conversation. We got a lot of stuff from keyboard warriors saying this is bollocks, this stuff is not pollinators, it's not going to attract any wildlife. But actually it did. It's full of wildlife, it's full of bees, it's full of pollinators, it's full of rats, it's full of everything. And it was a fascinating job to do. It was fascinating. And it could have gone horribly wrong. The risks were massive to us as a company. I remember they were very good because COVID and getting payment, and the payments were lumpy. And obviously one payment didn't come in, and then they paid the other payment early. One payment came into us of £1 million. One payment came into our account, £1 million. And it's like, it was the whole thing was a bit surreal. The biggest thing for me, actually, the biggest accolade for us, is that we had 1,000 lorries in there, 1,000 tippers in there, and it was a live site. So it was an island. So we had to cross through an island, and we had no health and safety breaches. We had no near misses. We had independent audits. We had random spot checks of audits, and that was the kind of thing that I'd kind of thought, well, we as a company have grown up.